How are you? Tuesday morning, June 18th, 2024. Best pitcher of the year, 1966. Sandy Koufax, back to back. Third time he's the best pitcher. Hands down, dominated 1966. He won 7 out of 9 categories, pitching categories. 1965, he won 6 categories. 1966, 7. Most wins, 27. Most innings, 323. Most strikeouts, 317. Most shutouts, 5. That's 4 categories. Most games started, 41. 5 categories. Most complete games, 27. That's 6 categories. And earned run average, lowest, 1.72. 7 categories out of 9. What are the other 2 categories? Winning percentage and saves. Juan Marichal, 806 winning percentage, beat out Koufax. Oh man, it could have been a clean sweep. Koufax had a 750. Marichal had an 806. And then saves. Koufax is not in the business of saving games. Jack Ecker had 32 saves. So how about Sandy Koufax dominating 1966? And this is the 3rd time he has won Best Pitcher. He won 1963, where he went 25-5. Did not win 1964. Don Drysdale won that year. But he came back 1965 and goes 26-8 and won that year. And now he wins 1966 by going 27-9. 1.73 earned run average. No fluke. Why? Because he was in 41 games and finished 27 of them. Had 323 innings, 317 strikeouts. A strikeout an inning. The year before, he struck out 382. Comes back 317. So he has 699 strikeouts in 2 years. 699. What a stretch. Nobody can hit him. Sandy Koufax. Did you know he had 4 no-hitters? One of them was a perfect game. He had 3 300 strikeouts seasons. Ends up 165 wins, 87 losses. Here's the sad news. That was his last year, 1966. He retired at age 30. Arm problems, too sore, the lefty. He said he'd take a lot of medication. He didn't want to live a life on medicine or pills or pain-relieving pills. Sandy Koufax, one of the most dominant pitchers in baseball history when he was on. And it was only a 6-year period, really, from 1961 through 1966. That era right there, you did not want to face Sandy Koufax. 1961, he wins 18 games, 62, 14. 63, 25 wins. 64, 19 wins. 65, 26 wins. And then his last year in the big leagues, he wins 27 games. A couple of World Series titles. I think he had 4 of them. I think he had, yeah. He was with the Dodgers and the Brooklyn Dodgers. They won the World Series. Then I believe in 1959 they won it. 1963 and 65 he wins it. 4 World Series titles. How about Sandy Koufax? Let me see. Let me look it up. Playoffs. Yeah, 59. 63, he was the MVP. 65, he was the MVP. 4 World Series. He had 6 World Series appearances, 6 of them, and won 4. MVP in 1963, they beat the Yankees. And then in 1965, they beat the Minnesota Twins. He went 2-1, won 2 games in 1965, and won 2 games in 1963. What a pitcher. And you know what? In my series of videos right now, Sandy Koufax 3 wins. But he could have had a potential of maybe 6 or 7 times if he had just pitched in those early years and dominated, but he didn't. Got off to a slow start. And then just think, if he had pitched in 1967, 68, 69, 70, pitched another 10 years, he would have had more Pitcher of the Year awards if he wasn't had a sore arm. Also, the what if for Sandy Koufax. I told you he pitched 12 years and stopped at age 30. What if he had pitched another 10 years and stopped at age 40? And let's say he averages 20 wins a year, because that's what he was doing. He had 25, 26, and 27. He had a 19-win season. He had an 18-win season. So he was a 20-win season guy when he was in his prime. What if he had pitched 10 more years? And let's say 20 wins a year. That's 200 wins. Add that to the 165 wins he has. Sandy Koufax could have ended up with 365 wins, maybe 400, because in his first 6 years, slow start. I mean, he won 2 games, 5 games, 11 games, 8 games, 8 games. Those was in the first 5 or 6 years. What if he was winning 20 games in those years? He could have been up to the 400 win mark if he didn't have that sore arm. I think also he had 4 no-hitters. What if in the beginning, when he get going, he has 1 or 2 more no-hitters? He could have had 6 or 7 no-hitters, maybe 8. He could have also had 2 perfect games. He had 1. He had the control. He may have had a second perfect game. I'm just saying what if, presupposing. If in those first 5 or 6 years he had pitched really well, he didn't. But if he did, just think, maybe 1 or 2 more no-hitters, right? And then and then from age 30 to age 40, if he had pitched 10 more years, maybe 2 more no-hitters and maybe 1 of those are a perfect game. He could have ended up with 8 no-hitters and 2 perfect games. It's possible. If he wasn't have the arm problem. Man, what if? Also, he had 2,300 strikeouts, almost 2,400 strikeouts in his career, in 2,400 innings. So a strikeout per inning. Let's say in those early years, he had struck out more guys, his first 5 or 6 years. And let's say from age 30 to age 40, if he had pitched those 10 years, how many more strikeouts would he have ended up with? Well, he had some 300 strikeout seasons. Let's say he has 250 strikeouts for 10 of those years per year. That's 2,500 more. He had 2,400. 2,500 more would have gave him 4,900. Maybe he would have been 5,000 strikeouts. What if? Incredible pitcher. Why did his arm get sore? Man. Cy Young pitched 22 years. Walter Johnson, 21. Nolan Ryan, 27 years. Wonder what was different about those guys, because they threw hard. They called Cy Young Cyclone because he threw hard. Walter Johnson was the big train. He threw hard. And of course, you had Nolan Ryan, the Ryan Express. They all threw hard. Yet they pitched over 20 years, all three of them. Nolan Ryan, 27 years. Cy Young, 22. And Walter Johnson pitched 21 years. Yet Sandy Koufax only 12. I think Sandy Koufax could have ended up maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 greatest pitcher of all time. But his career stopped at age 30. Just consider all that. Man. We're done with 1966. No more Sandy Koufax. Who's going to win 1967? Stay tuned.